That's been my thought all along, is this whole Drake Maye plan when they drafted him and, were trying to develop him through camp. They being Mayo, Van Pelt, Wolf, maybe even Kraft, they all, for some reason, thought Brissett was better than he is. And he didn't have a very good camp, didn't have a very good, or he started decent, right? But I think it was also comparing it to a rookie who was just showing up with pros for the first time. But then he wasn't very good in those preseason games. And then the way he's played it out during these first 4 games, I think they expected the play to be better, and they're sort of ignoring it because they're like, well, we don't want to play Drake Maye too early. And then you're left with this.
I don't get it. I really don't. And you look at the rookie quarterbacks who are playing throughout the league, as you've illustrated, all with bad offensive lines. The Bears are not ruining Caleb Williams. The Broncos are not ruining Bo Nix. Jaden Daniels looks like a future star. All of those teams are at least 500. Bears and Broncos are 2-2. Washington, maybe a playoff team for all we know. They're at 3-1. So you look at the rest of the league, how the rookies are faring, and we did that after 2 weeks. It looked terrible for the rookies. We'll do it again after a month. It looks better. You shouldn't be afraid to play a rookie, I don't think. You shouldn't be afraid to play this rookie here. And how much longer can you play non-competitive football? This is what I don't get.
They're putting it to the test.
And I forget who said it this morning. It might have been Chris Curtis. It might have been Greg. I forget who said it. But the idea that we're merit-based and we're going to go out there and we're going to reevaluate and it's all about competition. The team's not competitive.
No.
The quarterback isn't making competitive plays. Again, you were down 20-0 yesterday, in part because of a pick six, in part because Ramondre Stevenson can't hold on to the football. And when you pushed it a little bit and made it 20-10, when you got a gift wrap fumble and you still took forever, it felt like, to punch it into the end zone and needed 4 downs just to score and make it 20-10, Brock Purdy drops back, 53 yards, Deebo Samuel, boom. The route's on again. So you're non-competitive. If you were at least competitive like the first 2 weeks, you beat the Bengals, you go to overtime against Seattle, I get it. Now I don't get it. He's missing plays out there. He's holding on to the ball for too long. The pick six, Jacoby Brissett missed a wide-open Pop Douglas across the middle of the field, and he had time. He had time on that throw. So you can't keep doing that. And I don't care if Drake Maye's not ready. And furthermore, how do we even know? All these people out there assuming, well, you can't start him until he's ready. How do you know? Yeah. How do you know? Everything we hear is that he's doing great in practice. Players are raving about him. No, but the coaching staff says he does great. Yeah. So how do you know he's not ready?
Well, you can't play him until he's ready, / can't play him until the O-line's good, / all these different
that'll never happen.
That's what I'm saying.
The O-line will never happen.
So now your number 3 pick, you're just going to stash him? What do we you can't do that. I think the chances of Drake Maye being great with Pop Douglas as his number 1 receiver and Alex Van Pelt as his play caller seem
very slim
right now.
Yeah.
But also, we'd like to see it before you write that off. I can't say it's never going to happen if we don't see it. And so, yeah, I absolutely think he needs to play. It's hard to find that perfect spot. Caleb Williams is running for his life. Jaden Daniels does not have a great offensive line and only has one guy really to throw to.
This week is the perfect spot. Miami is the perfect spot. Dolphins are on a short week. Let's see how Tyler Huntley looks tonight against the Titans. But, this is the perfect spot. And as you said, Keefe, I didn't realize your tweet had gone viral. Nesson picked it up.
Yeah, they sure did.
What was that? The Foxborough
show.
Foxborough Rush?
Rush. Yep, they were on it.
They picked up your tweet.
They knew.
It's going to look like a Rays game at the Trop. And that's not the reason to start Drake Maye, but it's a consideration.
I bet the people way upstairs might start to feel differently.
The Patriots are unwatchable, and they've been non-competitive. So how do you feel about it? 617-779-7937. Let's go to Brock in Middleborough. Go ahead, Brock.
This team is frustrating for a couple different reasons. One, all the quarterbacks picked around Drake Maye are playing, improving every week. Some are looking real good. So, I don't know, maybe we picked the wrong guy there. And then in terms of if the plan is to play somebody else and a backup a veteran quarterback, let's see, Minshew, Willis, Dalton, Flacco, Fields, they were all dirt cheap, all doing much better than Jacoby Brissett. So my question is, do the people picking the players, did we just pick 2 wrong quarterbacks in this situation? What the hell is going on?
Okay. Great point, Brock. We were getting texts about the same thing. All right.
Hang on.
Put the Drake Maye. Oh, go ahead.
Do you think they picked the wrong guy in Drake Maye?
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that.
But could they have done better than Brissett? That's
100%. And we felt it at the time. This is not revisionist history. So put the Drake Maye thing to the side, right? Because that is more split than I thought. So there are people that want to play him right away. There are people that think he needs to sit because the environment is so bad. Fine. Let's just put Drake Maye. We're not even going to discuss Drake Maye here for a minute. Jacoby Brissett is your starter. That's what you came up with in a year where Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, I know he ended up staying, but Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, the way that he's playing, Malik Willis, who looked pretty good in the start, Gardner Minshew, all these guys were available. I'm not trying to tell you any of them are amazing.
You left out Flacco.
Right.
Flacco looked incredible yesterday. He was great when he took over for the Browns last year.
Van Pelt's guy.
Which means you'd have a familiarity with the offense here, right?
Yeah, Brissett was the worst choice. It was the worst choice. Why they pounced on that is beyond me, and you're kind of getting what you pay for.
So, no, that's a great second guess. I don't think they picked the wrong guy. They couldn't have taken Jaden Daniels.
No,
right?
Daniels and Williams were off the board, and those teams weren't going to trade.
If you want to go back and relitigate that, then they would have had the tank at the end of the year to get Jaden Daniels, or they should have taken a receiver like Neighbors or Marvin Harrison instead of May. That's not my concern. But the concern about Brissett and if they got the right guy, Flacco, Minshew is 2-2.
Justin Fields, if your plan was not to play Drake Maye.
Fields is 3-1. He had a great day yesterday. Now, they were behind and they were chasing the score, but he had a great day.
Again, if you wanted Brissett knowing that Drake Maye was going to play early on, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not even that mad about it.
You picked the wrong vet.
But if you wanted to play a guy for 5, 10, 15, maybe the whole season, then you needed to do a lot better than Jacoby Brissett.
100%. And so there were other names that moved around. I don't think Dalton moved. But like Sam Darnold is another one. There were other quarterbacks that are playing really well that you could have had, and you chose Brissett.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
That's on Elliott Wolf. 617-779-7937. Joe's in Randolph. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
The way I see it, I don't think it's about May. The team is in such disarray that the team is not ready for May to start. I think
so Joe, what do they do? So the team's not ready for, I've heard this before, Drake Maye. What do they do then? Drake Maye just doesn't play all year? Is that what they do?
At least until the team seems to play a little more proficiently.
Okay, they're not going to. That's not going to happen. Okay? So, that camp, the camp that's with Joe, I'm not saying you're wrong, but just understand. Your solution is Drake Maye doesn't see the field this year. That's your solution. If you can't play Drake Maye until the team is ready for Drake Maye, this team will not be ready for Drake Maye.
But it can't be Brissett then. But that's my takeaway today.
I'm with you on that.
We can.
But then who is it?
Well, no, I don't know. Somebody else. Somebody not named Jacoby Brissett, because I don't think the play Drake Maye people are going to be able to convince the don't play Drake Maye people, and vice versa, right? Because we'll end up just screaming at each other, be like, "You're going to break them. You're not going to break them." But we can all agree that Jacoby Brissett shouldn't play.
Yeah.
And so they bungled this thing from Jump Street, whether it was keep Bailey Zappi around because at least he's been on the team, or have somebody with more experience other than Joe Milton on the roster so you can keep Drake Maye safe, and you can wait for the O-line to have 5 All-Pros, and you can wait for Justin Jefferson to show up and everything else. But you need to play somebody other than Jacoby Brissett to give you a chance. Carolina is the living, breathing proof of this. They look like the only team in the league worse than the Patriots for 2 weeks. They changed their quarterback. They've gone 1-1 and look competitive and score points. So they changed their quarterback. They found a veteran quarterback that everybody thought was a joke, and Andy Dalton's looked pretty good for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Dalton, by the way, yesterday.
He had a couple tugs, right?
He had, they had 3 touchdowns as an offense. He threw for 220. And total yards, what did they put up yesterday? They put up 375 yards of offense. So, again, did they win the game? No. And they lost to the Bengals, who the Patriots beat.
But
I guess
the
if you want to be fair.
Yeah, but they're warming up.
Fine. But the idea that you could be more functional on offense by making a quarterback switch, I think that's being proven around the league. But the Patriots are afraid to do it, and a lot of you are afraid to do it.
Even the Colts. Anthony Richardson, now he might be an example of a guy that was thrown in there too soon if you want to use that, but then they made it, they were sort of forced into
he got
quarterback because he gets hurt every game, but that's a him issue. But then Joe Flacco goes in there and he's spinning around, the offense looks better.
Could have had Flacco. You don't have Flacco. Flacco looked great. So we'll get to more of this and what happened. Anything you missed in Week 4, that comes your way at 11:20. It's Patriots Monday, which means we'll talk to Hunter Henry and Devon Godchow here on WEEI. More Jones and Keefe coming up with all your phone calls, 617-779-7937. The offense is a problem. The quarterback is a problem. This defense, also sneaky, a huge issue on a coach with a team, rather, with a defensive-minded coach. So let's get to that with your phone calls next.